Also topping the agenda at the UNGA was the Rohingya crisis. The Myanmar government was condemned for sitting back and watching thousands flee fighting and making their way to uncertain conditions in Bangladesh and other parts of Asia. President Muhammadu Buhari, when he addressed the UNGA on Tuesday, likened the Rohingya situation to the Bosnia and Rwanda genocides.
The Myanmar crisis is very reminiscent of what happened in Bosnia in 1995 and in Rwanda in 1994. The international community cannot remain silent and do not condemn the horrendous suffering caused by what, from all indications, is a state-backed program of brutal depopulation of the Rohingya inhabited areas in Myanmar on the basis of ethnicity and religion. We fully endorse the call by the Secretary General on the government of the Myanmar to order or halt to the ongoing ethnic cleansing and ensure the safe return of the displaced Rohingya to their homes in safety and dignity.
The UN High Commissioner for Refugees, Filippo Grandi, was in one of the refugee camps in southeastern Bangladesh, close to the Myanmar border, and later said he was shocked by the terrible violence inflicted on the refugees fleeing Myanmar.
Mr. Grandi said he learned during his visit stories of rape, murder and violence.
I was really struck by the fear that these people carry with themselves of what they have gone through and seen back in Myanmar. Parents killed, families divided, wounds inflicted, rapes perpetrated on women. There's a lot of terrible violence that has occurred, and it will take a long time for people to heal their wounds, longer than satisfying their basic needs, I think.
Global charity Action Against Hunger says the pace and scale of Rohingya refugees entering Bangladesh has left a major challenge for international organizations struggling to feed more than 400,000 people. Clean water, food shelters, hygiene and sanitation are the top priorities as refugees try to combat storms, according to Global Chief Executive Officer of the organization, Veronique Andrieu.
People need everything. They're hungry, they need shelter, they need food, they need water, they need sanitation, because hygiene is absolutely critical. When you get this kind of scale, you need to ensure that hygiene and wash and sanitation and sewage is there. And it just can't, it's difficult to make it happen overnight.
Back at the General Assembly, Bangladesh's Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina made a plea for the refugees. She laid out a plan for the UN to guarantee a safe and dignified return to Myanmar of the 800,000 Rohingyas in Bangladesh. Canada's Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he was concerned about the situation in Myanmar and that Canada remains a place that is there to protect people fleeing violence and persecution around the world.
I have spoken directly with Aung San Suu Kyi. We have sent a letter to her expressing also to the commander of the Myanmar military how important it is that real action is taken to de-escalate, to cease the violence, to protect minorities, particularly in this case the Rohingya Muslim minority, but indeed all minorities in that country. Canada continues to engage with friends and partners in the region, including Indonesia, that has shown real leadership on proposing a path forward and a solution.
Myanmar's de facto leader, Aung San Suu Kyi, wasn't at the UNGA, but the Vice President Henry Van Thieu was. And in his address to the Assembly, he said his country was committed to solving the situation in Rakhine State.
The recent events in Rakhine State are a painful reminder that we face difficult challenges ahead on the long journey towards peace, prosperity, and democracy. However, Please allow me to reiterate this. Our commitment to peace remains as strong and as unwavering today as it was 1 year ago when our state councillor, Dr. Aung San Suu Kyi, first addressed you from this podium. As part of this commitment, we have made the national reconciliation and peace process our top priority.
U.S. Vice President Mike Pence had last Wednesday accused the Myanmar military of responding to militant attacks with terrible savagery, burning villages and driving the Rohingya from their homes. However, Theo didn't address any criticism against his government.
You're watching Diplomatic Channel. Still ahead on the program. It is Britain's cultural and social connection with Nigeria. Ever wondered what the British Council does in the country? You're about to find out in my interview with the country director of the British Council in Nigeria, Lucy Pearson. Just stay with us.